bringing on to social media, I'm very interested in how you've created such exposure for yourself and all the press, all the Huffington Post, Forbes magazine. How do you think, although being great, but on top of that, how do you encourage this kind of exposure?
Sure. So I had an opportunity that I'm very thankful for to spend some time with Seth Godin in New York City. And one of the things that he taught me was every single person in the world wants to increase their status. And they want to increase their status in different ways. They want to increase their status to their colleagues, their friends, or the family. You're one of those. And there's different things that will increase their status. Like for me, for example, if you want to increase my status, put me on your podcast. Like I'm going to say yes to that instantly, right? For people in the media, for people who, journalists who are wanting these stories to increase their status, is you give them a good story, a good angle that's going to get them good clicks. And so it's going to make them look good to their boss, and, they're going to get better opportunities, right? It's just like the greatest employees are the employees that are constantly making their boss look good, constantly making sure that their boss gets a raise, right? And then that transcends through them. So I just kind of, through the help of people like Dennis Yu, who's, top marketer in the world, learned how to kind of package my story in a short, succinct, but inspirational way, so that when I, because on Facebook advertising, you can target like job titles, right? Yeah. So, if I could target people who worked at Huffington Post or who were journalists, job titles, etc., but targeted them with like something like called a why video, which is basically in a minute and a half, I define my purpose, my passion, et cetera, which I can see. If you go to blitzmetrics.com/why, there's an incredible amount of information on how to shoot your why video. And actually, just a tangent, I used to run a marketing agency, and one of the most consistent pieces of content that we saw all types of industries was a why video. And so if I could if I could put an inspirational story in a why video, but then also get some social proof, like maybe get 10,000 views on it or whatever, a couple hundred likes or something, and then target that video to someone in the media, they're going to say, they're going to reach out to me because they think it's their idea. They see the lot of views on the video, so therefore they're social proof. They think that it's proof that people are interested in me, and then they watch the video and it's something interesting or inspirational. The chances of them reaching out at either in that moment or within a couple months are very high. And so, and then once I got those articles, those pieces, I shared them all over social media. I constantly gave the journalist credit, constantly tagged them, constantly let them ride the wave with me. So then they would keep writing stuff about me. Or, a lot of journalists, they have friends who work at other pubs and they introduce me to another friend. So, just kind of being this like ecosystem of growth for everyone will kind of in turn create inbound growth for you, because people want to ride that wave with you. Yeah,
that's really, really clever. I'm really interested. So what, could you explain what a why video is again? Just a wee bit, expand on that a wee bit. Yeah.
100%. And again, like from all the way to Fortune 100, like GoDaddy, we were at GoDaddy headquarters one time shooting why videos for the community or the head of community at GoDaddy, and then the CMO of GoDaddy. So all the way up to large companies down to a realtor in his local town. A why video can be one of the most important pieces of content that you put out there, because if you're going back to the golden circle with Simon Sinek, everyone knows what you do. Everyone knows maybe how you do it, maybe how you're different, etc. But very few people know the why. Why do you do it? Right. What's the inner passion? What's the purpose? What's the origin story? Oh, when you're in college, this person says something to you, or you saw this person get affected negatively in this way, and then 4 years later you create a product. Or maybe you personally, you were affected in some way by something in the marketplace or in the world, and then a couple years later or 6 months later you create a product to fill that need. Those stories, the origin stories, make what you're doing make so much sense to people, right? In marketing, we're constantly building trust, building rapport, building credibility, building the reason for why we are the ones who can have a nonprofit or have a podcast or et cetera, et cetera. And when we can tell that origin story, then it just makes sense to people. They get it. And it's easier for them to click share. It's easier for them to be a fan of you after seeing your why video. And if you think about like social media today, people treat it like a buffet, right? They want the stories, the pieces of food that is going to inspire them the most, that are going to educate them the most, that's going to make them feel good. When someone shares a video on their feed, if that video makes them look cool or aware or inspirational to their friends, then it's a win-win, because you're helping them look good to their friends, and you're also winning because you have a share. So yeah, man, treating social media kind of like a buffet, and just kind of leveraging that story in the why videos can be super important.
Cool. Yeah, I'm glad I got you to expand on that. That's really interesting.